Meanwhile, South Korean investigators trying to arrest suspended President Yoon Yeol have asked for an extension to the warrant that expires on Monday, with the embattled leader holed up in his residence surrounded by supporters. Investigators from the Corruption Investigation Office said they will ask for an extension to a warrant due to expire at the end of Monday. Deputy Director of the Corruption Investigation Office in a press briefing said that the agency had asked for police's help to detain Yoon because of the difficulties investigators had faced and would consult them on the timing of the warrant extension. Police have yet to accept the request. The impeached President Yoon Yeol has defiantly refused questioning 3 times before a failed arrest attempt saw hundreds of his protective guards block investigators trying to detain him over a bungled martial law decree last month. So, under the fog of dawn, dozens of Yoon's lawmakers from the People's Power Party turned up in front of his presidential residence, and it's been days that Yoon Yeol, the impeached president, has been defying this arrest by investigators. Well, police moved to block roads in anticipation of another day of protests, as dozens for and against Yoon from the previous day braved sub-zero conditions after camping out overnight. So you can see on your screens police in anticipation of another day of unrest guarding the presidential compound in Seoul. And it is also a day when US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is also in Seoul for talks with South Korean officials, including acting President Chai Song-mok, to be able to help the country out of crisis. And DD India's Anil Thomas now joins us from New Delhi on the story. Anil, South Korean investigators say they will seek an extension of arrest warrant for Yoon. So how much of a chances do they have today?
Well, good morning, Tanvi. Well, it first of all shows, especially, it's a deadlock that we have seen so far. And I don't see the timeline that the arrest warrant has, which has got a validity of a week, is still 8:30 p.m. tonight. And I think the lockdown that's been faced time and again don't seem to be making any headway. I think we've seen precedents before where lawmakers arrest warrants have been issued in 2000, 2004, which have lapsed, which have not been fulfilled. And I think this particular logjam that we are seeing currently, on Friday we did see the chief investigating officers and their team, trying to enter the presidential palace, trying to get stock of the things. But I think that's where they've run into legal obstacles. And I think legal breakers is something that Yoon is backing on. And I think he's got his full battery of lawyers there to bail him out of this current situation. And I think you don't see much of headway being made, especially with regards to how the situation is. You've got less than 12 hours left for the arrest warrant to lapse. And I think it could see a slow and silent death, this particular arrest warrant, because Yoon has got his fortress well guarded, at least for the time being.
Okay. And US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Seoul early on Monday for talks with the South Korean leadership. Do you think he can help leverage the country out of crisis?
Not exactly. Antony Blinken's final trip as Secretary of State, especially when it comes to visiting the Asian continent, followed after this visit, he's got a visit to Japan that followed. I think in terms of economic, purely in terms of international or foreign and political South Korean something that looking forward to. I think the policy, especially when it comes to not interfering in the policies of internal conflicts in any country, and I think this would hold good to here too. It's understood that Yoon has close ties with the Biden administration. It's considered to be pretty close to the Biden administration. But having said that, Trump is just a fortnight away from taking over, and Yoon could or could not, face the same kind of support from the Trump administration had he did the Biden administration. So it's a tightrope walking that Biden needs to do. I think Biden would stick to more economic, more bilateral relations than look at, getting himself involved, especially in the internal conflict that South Korea currently faces and the crisis that is unfolding.
Okay, thank you very much, Anil Thomas, reporting on this story.